Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another video. So in today's news update we're going to be talking about Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 3, a new casting rumour, and also Yoda in the High Republic. As always my dear friends, before I dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new and a huge welcome if you are, and also be sure to give that notification bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time I post new content. So without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So as you may or may not be aware, recently it was reported that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will allegedly be using Thrawn Trilogy material as well as Dark Empire material for The Mandalorian Season 3. And this is an attempt to canonize various elements of the Legends canon. This way we'll see a Luke Skywalker who is much more in line with the continuity that we'd expect after Return of the Jedi and before the Luke we eventually see in the sequel trilogy. So in light of this, we have to take into consideration the fact that in Dark Empire, Luke Skywalker was tempted by the dark side, and this might come into play later on in The Mandalorian. One of the most iconic stories of Star Wars Legends canon is Tom Veitch and Cam Kennedy's Dark Empire, where Luke Skywalker is seriously tempted to join the dark side. The events take place several years after the destruction of the second Death Star and the initial death of Palpatine. In the aftermath of Return of the Jedi, the Empire breaks into factions as different leaders try to seize control, allowing the rebels to form the government of the New Republic. Basically the same timeline that we see in The Mandalorian. Both sides continue their hostilities, but in Dark Empire the Emperor returns and convinces Luke to take a place by his side. In the first issue, the comic reveals just how far Luke has come in his Jedi training when he single-handedly brings down an Imperial walker. However, when a massive darkside force storm sweeps in from above, it targets Luke. He allows himself and R2-D2 to be sucked up into raging cyclones, and through a hyperspace wormhole, they end up emerging in a strange city and are brought to a fortified palace where Luke finds Emperor Palpatine waiting for him. The decrepit Emperor explains that the dark side has caused his body to wither many times over the years due to its destructive capabilities, and so he has had to transfer his consciousness into clones. And if this sounds familiar to you guys, they did use this as source material for The Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, just as we saw in Return of the Jedi, in this series, the Emperor invites Luke to become his apprentice. But at this stage, a few years have passed since the Battle of Andor. As such, Luke is far more powerful. There's even a possibility, however slim, that he might strike down the Sith Lord. But as Palpatine points out, that would do no good as there are more clones waiting to receive his consciousness. Rather than resist, Luke uses this opportunity to learn from his old enemy, even hoping to challenge the power of the dark side from within its sway. Suddenly, Luke kneels, claiming that he shares the same destiny as his father Darth Vader. This is essential to understand Luke's motives. Anakin Skywalker was supposedly the chosen one. Vader spread terror throughout the galaxy. To understand his father's decisions and to better understand the nature of the Force, Luke allows himself to go to the dark side, not out of hate, not out of fear, but out of the pursuit of wisdom. And guys, even in this version of events, Luke is so much more Luke Skywalker than we saw him in the sequels. To want to learn and adapt and expand his knowledge, he gives in, but not out of hate or fear. Meanwhile, the New Republic forces are attacked by a new type of superweapon, which was called a World Devastator. These massive machines suck entire chunks of planets into their powerful tractor beams and convert the raw materials into new starfighters. As the New Republic suffers terrible losses, Leia receives a message from Luke, warning her to stay away. Despite this, she, Han and C-3PO seek him out, arriving at the Emperor's base, where the secret of his survival is revealed as they are brought in to his clone foundry. Luke has allowed the Imperials to tamper with R2-D2's programming, which horrifies 3PO. Seeing how dire things are, Leia attacks the Emperor with her lightsaber, but he incapacitates her with the Force lightning. So we won't go any further with the story because we could be here all day, but what I will say is Luke's instincts and the desire to always want to do the right thing, just like in this comic, might lead him down a dark path. It's not entirely clear why Luke became a recluse. We know that Ben Solo's fall to the dark side played into it, but that's only partially the reason. Maybe one of his upcoming adventures with Grogu in The Mandalorian Season 3, maybe even a storyline taken straight from Legends material, might lead him to eventually lose the hope that he is so famous for. As a big Luke fan, especially at this point in the timeline, I really hope they don't go down that path, but now that we know they are going to use Legends material, some kind of travesty might befall Luke. And speaking of Luke, I really hope they introduce Mara Jade into canon. So let me know what you guys think of this, and let's move on to our next article. Amber Heard is reportedly in talks for a Star Wars role. A Lucasfilm insider is claiming that Heard is in talks for a role in the galaxy far, far away, although no further details are known at this point. The actress has nothing currently in the works, and it has been rumoured for a while that Disney have been in talks with the 34-year-old. So that's just a quick little piece of news, and let's move on to our final article. We're going to be talking about Yoda, and specifically in the context of the High Republic. So Star Wars reveals Yoda's most insane Padawan exercise. In Star Wars The High Republic Adventures #1, Yoda's field trip with budding Padawans transforms into a daring rescue mission. The book begins with Yoda leading a field trip across the galaxy in order to teach a group of Padawans about becoming a Jedi. It sounds simple enough, but his ship soon receives a distress call to help mitigate a catastrophe that would better be suited for Jedi Knights, not Padawans. Even the most highly qualified Padawan in Yoda's troop, who's the #1 student in numerous disciplines, is having trouble focusing. Unfortunately, Yoda's ship is the only one in the vicinity that can help, so he has no choice but to pursue and bring his band of Padawans with him. The mission is to save the planet Trimont 4, which is a planet at the mercy of massive chunks of fiery debris plummeting from space. Exacerbating the situation further is that the city in immediate danger is the most densely populated city on the planet. The Padawans have to wield the Force on their own with no supervision, as Yoda will have to focus on the larger debris hurtling down from the skies. So basically guys, if you thought what you saw in Attack of the Clones with Count Dooku was impressive, in this case, a younger Yoda, much less experienced, has to use the Force to divert massive pieces of debris. So just like in The Empire Strikes Back, size matters not. So my dear friends, that is all of the news I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also please go over to my Patreon, where for just $2 or $10 a month, you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube, and that includes my podcast Megasodes, my series called Forgotten Characters, Star Wars Explained videos, and more. I will see you next time. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.